Dear listeners, welcome back to our YouTube channel, Reddit Audio Tales. Today, I bring you a story about a husband who discovered that his kids knew about his wife's affair, and even helped her cover it up. Let's dive into this shocking tale, narrated from the husband's perspective. Last week while my wife, 49F, was taking a shower, I, 50M, saw a notification pop up on her phone and went to open it thinking it was one of our daughters, Maddie 24F and Alice 26F, confirming what time their girls' dinner was. Instead I saw an unsaved number saying, "I can't wait to see you," and then kissing emoji. I froze for a second. I clicked on the message and saw a short thread mostly confirming dinner plans for that evening and how they missed each other and once a week just wasn't enough. I knew what I saw. 29 years of marriage down the drain. Hoping to catch her in a lie before she left the house, I texted both our daughters and asked them about girls' dinner. What happened next broke me to my core. Both girls confirmed the dinner and said they were excited. I couldn't believe it. Not proud of what came next. I turned her location sharing on with me in her phone and let her leave. I followed her to a restaurant and lo and behold neither daughter was there but instead a man I knew was her boss. I was so heartbroken. Part of me was hoping I was just a paranoid freak and my daughters would be there happy to see me. But no, just my cheating wife and her AP. I took pictures of the two of them holding hands and kissing. I know I should have waited but I couldn't help myself, I was so angry. As soon as I got in my car, I opened the group chat we had as a family, sent them all the photos and said, "Glad you're enjoying girls' dinner together." I then turned my phone off and drove to my brother's house and asked to stay the night. I woke up the next morning to over 40 texts and 20 voicemails. My wife went through the cheater's playbook of excuses. I didn't even listen to her voicemails. I was about to respond with, "I will be getting a divorce, I recommend a lawyer." But my brother stopped me. He told me to meet with a bunch of lawyers first and make sure she couldn't use them. Instead I just sent the group chat a simple message, "I am physically fine but need time. I will come home when I'm ready." I then muted my phone. I called different lawyers that looked to be the best in town that morning for appointments. Met with all of them, and picked the one who looked ready to treat this as scorched earth as possible. Finally, after spending all day with lawyers, I looked through the messages and both my daughters were apologizing. My younger daughter, the daddy's girl of the two, was manic. She had texted me almost 50 times saying she never should have lied and hated it every time. Her boyfriend even reached out asking me to please reach out to her, that he didn't know what was going on but that she was on the verge of a panic attack. "Maddie, I love you but please understand that what you've done has hurt me deeply, I need you to give me space." I sent it and within seconds got a "Okay, I'm so sorry, I never should have helped, I'll never forgive myself. I love you too." I didn't respond. Alice was different. We always had a good relationship but she was a mama's girl through and through. She said she was sorry but that I shouldn't throw away a good marriage because of one mistake. This made me furious. "Alice, this isn't a mistake, this is a betrayal. From my whole family. Please don't reach out again until I make first contact." She never responded but I know she showed it to me STBX because she started saying that I shouldn't take this out on Alice. I never responded. I'll never talk to her again except through lawyers. This all happened 5 days ago. I'm still at my brother's and can't contain my feelings. I cry every morning and most of the day. I oscillate between complete debilitating sadness and all-consuming anger. Losing my wife will be hard enough but how do I ever look at my children again? How do I even begin to forgive them? Alice is supposed to get married in the fall, I've been paying for almost everything, now I'm probably not going to go. I don't even know how to move forward. I am completely destroyed. Update. I can't believe it's been a year since my original post. Some days it feels like it just happened yesterday and others I feel like it's always happened, there was never a before. My soon-to-be ex-wife Julie 50F and I are still going through the divorce proceedings. We were forced to do a 6-month legal separation before we could start the divorce. I moved back home after a week and a half at my brother's. I served her with the legal separation a week later to ensure I had re-established that our house was still my home location. The terms were absolute hell. We had 1 year left on the mortgage so whoever was going to stay at the house was supposed to pay the full amount for the year. Of course because she had been a stay-at-home mom 20 years ago until Maddie started pre-K, her decision that I was against. She used that against me and she was allowed to stay at the house but we split the mortgage. I ended up moving into a 1-bedroom apartment. That's where I'm writing this now. Maddie and I made up somewhat quickly. She came to the house and refused to leave until I talked to her. She didn't throw a fit or anything, she just wouldn't leave. This went on for a couple weeks. Her boyfriend was annoyed, he kept coming over and hated the awkwardness but she would just say in front of Julie and I that she would not return to their apartment until she and I were talking again. At the time it was really annoying. I hated being there and Julie and I were fighting over the legal separation. But I eventually unleashed some frustration onto Maddie and she told me how she found out. Apparently at an actual girls' dinner 2 weeks prior to my finding out, Julie was quite drunk and let it slip. Alice tried to stop her but couldn't. Alice and Julie begged her to keep quiet until Julie could come clean to me. Maddie was crying as she said this and told me she now realizes that her mom had no intention of ever telling me. The girls' dinner lie was the first time she had lied to me about the affair, and according to her mom, she was going to break it off with the AP and then tell me that night. We were both crying and Julie came in trying to defend herself and I unleashed all of my anger. I yelled like I had never done before. Maddie even had to calm me down. She didn't just manipulate me, she straight up used at least one of our daughters. It was unforgivable. That's when I just agreed to the mortgage split to get Maddie and I out of that house. Maddie moved back in with her BF that night and I found my current apartment. Maddie decorated it for me. Alice and I, unfortunately, are not on speaking terms. After the fallout, her fiancé called me and asked what was going on. He suspected that she was cheating. I told him that I had no reason to suspect that she was cheating, but that my wife had cheated on me, and Alice knew before me. Not sure exactly what happened next, but it ended in them breaking up. Alice blames me, saying I should not have told him anything. Since coming to my apartment in tears and blaming me for everything, she blocked me and we haven't spoken. I was able to get some money back from vendors I had dealt with directly, but I know Alice kept some of the money for herself. I still have no idea how long Alice knew of the affair, and her lack of remorse likely means we will never have a relationship again. Alice and Julie are currently living together at the house. Julie is openly dating her boss now. He left and went to another firm when I caught them, scared he would lose his job. I'm embarrassed to say I am jealous. Not of the two of them, they will implode I'm sure, but jealous of not being lonely. Maddie has been encouraging me to go out and help me set up a dating profile, so awkward. She then called me a weirdo when my first match was with a 33-year-old single mom. We have a date planned for next week, that Maddie encouraged me to go on, but I'm just not sure I'm ready to start over. Dear listeners, if you ever find yourself in a similar situation, how would you handle it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and thanks for listening this story.